What's going on, true believers? Welcome to another episode of One Shot. I am your host, Jacob, and decent week. Not too many books. I know last week was a bit of a massive rundown on the last 2 weeks for me, so it was kind of nice to get a few less books this week. But let's get right into it, shall we? Let's start it off with Darkhold Omega. This is the last one of the Darkhold series. The ending of this book, I'm wondering what the repercussions of the events, if they have any play later on, because Scarlet Witch winds up with the Darkhold, the book, and kind of takes it into herself, and it kind of becomes part of her, which allows her to be free of the control of somebody in the book. Overall, I thought the series was pretty good. Something different. Adding horror to some Marvel books that don't normally see it is kind of interesting. But yeah, overall, pretty good series. Wastelanders Doom. I've been loving this Wastelanders series. The books, the podcasts have been really good. This book was definitely really good. Following Doom around. Doom taking no crap from anybody. Any challenge that arises, Doom is like, yeah, go ahead, I don't care. But Doom is trying to figure out who is causing this town that shouldn't really be flourishing to flourish using magic. And it has some characters that we are familiar with that seem to be running this town. But towards the end of the book, not to spoil too much, but the Darkhold does make an appearance in this one too, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, I don't know what the ramifications of the Darkhold series are going to be, but it seems to be now jumping across series, even into the Wasteland series. But this book was fantastic, just like all the other Wastelanders. Highly recommend it. Spawn 325. This book was okay. A little bit forgettable because, I just read it and not remembering too much about it. But I don't know if some of these Spawn that they introduced in this book are new or not. But there's some other Spawns from the time stream that seem to be in this prison, locked away and getting ready to be experimented on. But I have been enjoying the Spawn series overall, having jumped in late in the game. Noctera issue nothing. This is a Blacktop Bill special. Probably the best character everyone seems to like in the series. A lot of people I talked to don't really like the series. They had high hopes and were let down by it. I've been enjoying it. Not like severely enjoying it, but it's a good read overall. But Blacktop Bill is definitely one of the more interesting characters in this, and they do a fantastic job at kind of explaining his backstory a little bit. And they kind of do like a little bait and switch in the middle, which was, kind of surprising, but I'm super happy with it. But this cover is fantastic. This one's going to be a hard one to get in 9/8, folks. The couple that I had seen, there were a couple of little tiny spine ticks on it, and being an all black cover, it's going to be nearly impossible. But it's overall in good condition, great condition actually, but no 9/8 here. And if you find one, more power to you. Like that, it's going to be amazing. Speaking of Amazing Spider-Man 84. Doc Ock obviously is in this issue. He works his way into the Beyond Corporation, um, the main offices, I guess, and he's after something specific, and he uses his age to to fool a bunch of like the millennial staff, I guess. And I thought it was pretty cool. This series has been fantastic. I'd say it every time. So much better than the last run. Cannot recommend it. If you hopped off of this book because of the way the last run was written, come back. Uh, it's here. Home is here, and I'm super happy with this. Also picked up the Villain's Reign variant of that issue. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not sure who that villain is, though. Basilisk, issue number 6. Um, so we get another confrontation between the I can't remember what they call them, but the evil group and the two good people that are kind of hunting them down. Um, they almost take them out instantly, but they they kind of missed their shot, and now their group of followers is coming behind them and trying to put a stop to anybody attacking them in any form. Um, but this series, I'm loving it. The artwork is amazing. The story, um, it's it's okay at times, but for the most part, it's really good. Um, but I've been liking it quite a bit. I thought it was only going to be a short run series, but I guess it's going to be continuing on for a little bit longer. The Order of the World, Arkham City. So the what they call him, Ten-Eyed Man. Um, we're finding out that he might actually have some sight abilities, that he actually sees through the eyes in his fingertips, and has kind of a sixth sense about certain things. But Azrael has kind of taken him out of play for a little bit, and now there's some other beings that are kind of making themselves known. Um, they've been kind of hiding out, and they're not good people, but at this time they're trying to make themselves appear to be normal. Um, but this series has been, I don't know, it's intriguing to me, but at the same time, I have the hardest time explaining this series to anybody. Um, but I will continue reading it till the end. Only 6 issues. This one's probably not for everybody. If you're into this whole superhero thing, there's very little that there's no Batman involved in this, even though it's in his wheelhouse there. Um, but I have been enjoying it, even though I'm very confused. Not All Robots, issue number 5. I thought this was going to be the last issue as well in the series, but I guess this is the end of volume 1. The robot and human war seem to be kind of over with. The courts are sentencing the people that were involved. They don't exactly kill people, they just kind of send them out into the wasteland to fend for themselves. So they send the mother of the people that we've been following. The dad is kind of just, if you ever watched Rick and Morty, he's kind of like, reminds you of Jerry, the character Jerry. He's kind of a wuss that just goes along with things, and he accepts his robot overlords, and he pretty much doesn't mind being their pet. But the mother and the kids are just kind of like, go away, leave us alone. And they just kind of take off. The mother gets sentenced out into the wasteland, and the kids go looking after her in this book. But they go to the bubble city of Orlando that's been shut down, and that's kind of where the book ends, and setting it up for the shunned robots and the shunned humans kind of living together now in a new city. Um, but this series has been absolutely amazing. There's so many concepts uh, that were brought up that it just makes you think, and you're like, you're seeing the world you live in through this book, how it could be if we don't, keep things in check. It's a fantastic read. Not all robots. The Search for Who, issue number 4. I mean, this book is just pure action. Uh, Gunfights, just blood everywhere. And this guy's, he was kind of working with his family, but his family doesn't really accept him because he didn't really grow up with them. And the other mob group that they're fighting against, they really don't like him either. So he's kind of a man without a country in this book, but at the same time, he's out for revenge for the death of his father and the attack on his mother. But this story has been absolutely great. What can I say? Recommend. Search for Who. Captain America Iron Man, issue number 2. This book is kind of like I don't know. It's not great. It's like the enemy is here. We found out where they are. Let's hunt them down. We'll attack them. Oh no, they get away. Oh, we found out they're here. Let's go over and attack them. Oh no, they got away. It's just kind of like one of those books. I don't know. Not great. And then there's characters in here that they're not even like B tier superheroes. They're more like the Z tier. There's nobody. I don't know. The artwork is great. I mean, the Alex Ross covers are amazing. But I don't know how this series is going to be. Sorry about that. My phone ran out of memory. But yeah, Cloaked, issue number 1. So this is like, what if Batman kind of disappeared? 25 years after that, his legend still remains, but people kind of want to know what happened to him. People know who the Robin is. It's not really the Robin. They call him the Wonder Boy instead of the Boy Wonder. There's a lot of homages paid to and similarities to Batman in this book. This is definitely supposed to be, Batman, but not Batman. This Batman is way more gun friendly, kills people. He doesn't like take on his ward. He kind of finds this kid on the street and is like, hey, you want to make some money? Go put on this suit and run in here and be a distraction, basically. So the Wonder Boy, the Robin, is kind of telling a story to this detective, trying to find out who, I can't remember what they call him in this book, the Batman character. But he's definitely supposed to be Batman. This book it's starting to be something pretty cool. Even though it's not Batman, I'm reading this as if it's almost a Batman book. The story, I don't know. It's different. Like, this private detective was hired by this billionaire who seems to be like Bruce Wayne to find out who this guy is. I'm wondering if it's not him in the end. But that would be very interesting why he's trying to have him find himself. But this series is interesting. It's only going to be 4 issues. I don't know how they're going to tell a story like this in 4 issues, but man, I'm all aboard. Cloaked, issue number 1. Dark Knights of Steel, issue number 3. This is going to be a long 12 issues. This probably could have been a 6-issue run, I'm sure, because this one we're only 3 in and they're starting to pad the story a little bit. The idea, the concepts behind this book, absolutely love them, but man, they could have cut this one down, I think. um, I might be pleasantly surprised, and 12 issues later I will be absolutely amazed by the story, but they're just kind of dragging some things out, and I'm like, just, kind of get on with it. um, Almost Games of Thrones style, where it's just like plotting and scheming, and I don't know. This cover art's fantastic, though. I mean, look at that. But overall, the story is okay. I'll continue reading it, but they need to pick it up a little bit. Batman 119. Since Tynian's been off this book, and I absolutely love Tynian's work, but he just phoned in the Batman stuff that he worked on. This book has actually picked up for me. It's actually getting pretty decent. Get away from all the Fear State stuff. The banter and the imagery between Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor in this book is absolutely fantastic. Just the imagery of this very rare wine that Lex Luthor bought. There's like the last bottle of it ever. And he just basically pours out 2 glasses, one for him, one for Bruce, and then just pours the rest of it out on the ground like he doesn't even care. I mean, we could get into the psychology of that all day long, but Batman, in the end, is fighting Abyss, who he thought was dead. Batman is taken like to a dark zone like place where he can see himself and things, but nothing else around him. But I think Batman in the end of this book has actually been blinded somehow, which is fascinating. He's blind as a bat now. We'll see how he overcomes this one. I'm super intrigued with this story now. Batman, hop back on it if you were off of it for a while. This one is getting good. That is all I have for you today. If you could go down, leave me a like, leave me a comment, hit the subscribe button for me. I'm trying to get that YouTube algorithm to show my videos to a few more people, so we can get the word out there. I might be able to get a few more things going on. But thanks for stopping by. Tell me what you liked in the comments, what you don't like, what you're reading, what should I be reading, and as always, have a good day.